He is our personnel committee.
Okay, personnel committee will come to order. Roll call.
Ms. Virginia Bell,
Present.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Present.
Ms. Joyce Porter, absent. Dr. Kelly Joseph,
Here.
Ms. Miranda Watson.
Here.
Ms. Bell, would you like to appoint
Yes, please.
Dr. Byron Hurst?
Present.
Okay, first item on the personnel committee agenda is to receive the personnel updates.
Good evening, committee members. As you can see with your handout, we've done a lot of hiring over this past month. We've had just a couple of resignations, and we had about four transfers from one position to another, and then from one school site to another, trying to put everybody in the best position for our students. On the back, you will see our vacancies. Now, some of these vacancies, the principals and the chief of innovation are currently speaking to people. So a lot of these positions will be filled for sure within the next week or so. But I had to list them as this because I don't have anything that's been approved yet. So we are working real hard, just trying to get them filled. Still advertising in the Advocate, not the Advocate, I'm sorry, in the St.Helena Echo, as well as our website and on Teach Louisiana. And we are getting a lot of hits from our website.
Good, so we're getting some responses
Yes.
to these.
Oh, yes. Yes. We did go to another job fair, LRCE, and we were very successful with that job fair as well. So we did get a couple of our candidates that's listed here are from that job fair.
All these individuals, they are certified.
Not all of them, but all of them are close to being certified. Most of them is taking their practice test, and we will be processing them so they can enroll into all cert program.
Okay, any other questions for Ms. Watson?
If it's not too much to ask, if it's possible, could we see when new hires are hired, if they're certified or working towards alternatives or certification?
Okay.
Like, I'll call you.
Okay.
Okay, anything else? All right, thank you, Ms. Watson. That concludes the personnel committee.
Thank you.
Budget and Finance Committee will come to order.
Ms. Virginia Bell,
Present.
Dr. Byron Hurst,
Present.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Present.
Dr. Kelly Joseph.
Here.
Ms. Amy Holland.
Here.
Dr. Candace Robinson.
Here.
Ms. Tracy Womack.
Here.
All members present.
I'd like to add a comment to the agenda.
Okay. First item, receive and consider for approval, resolution to withdraw $33,516 from the EPF.
I'd like to add an item to the agenda.
Okay, we need a motion then. Okay,
The item is to add Tops Landscaping contract. Consider the approval of Tops Landscaping contract.
okay, we have a request to add as item 7, Tops Landscaping Contract to the agenda. Can I get a motion?
5A.
Item 5A.
Okay. Item 5A, yes. 5A, Tops Landscaping. Need a motion.
I move that we add item 5A as top landscaping contract.
I say.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Ms. Bell,
Yes.
Ms. Cheney.
Yes.
Dr. Hurst.
Yes.
3-0, motion carried, item into the agenda.
Okay, now, item 1 on the agenda is to receive and consider for approval a resolution to withdraw the $33,516 from the PEF plan for tobacco settlement funds.
We are requesting that the board receive and consider for approval the withdrawal of $33,516. We had initially planned to utilize the funds that were available in our EEF account to purchase some technology, whiteboards and computer equipment and whatnot. And we did have those funds available in EGMS to budget and utilize. Maybe February, March, we got new notification that we did not have that amount of money available. We only had $48,321. So because the items had already been purchased, we needed to withdraw some funds so that we could have the exact amount of money that we needed to secure those items. So that's why we're asking that you approve the withdrawal of $33,516 so that we can cover the total, which was $81,836.
What was the mix-up with the funds that we thought we had?
I had not experienced this before. Initially in EGMS, we had about maybe $108,000, $109,000 that was available to spend. So we knew that we were covered in what we wanted to purchase. And when the new allocations came out in February, we had a decrease in funding. And so we have to make the adjustments to be able to cover the cost of those items that we already have, which is why we have to request that we withdraw the funds. Initially, we were told that we just had to, click a few buttons, withdraw the funds, and we were done. And then after the fact, they came back and said, you have to follow the process of getting the board approval and all these other things.
Plus, we originally had the items that we were gonna use EEF funds to purchase the technology. But what the State Department did is change up the process by which we go in, draw down those funds. And so we had to go back and, readjust, just that process. So that's why we're coming now, asking that we get approval. Whenever we do draw down monies, additional monies from the EEF, so EEF, you have a certain allocation every year. And if we want to go into the surplus monies, then, we have to get it approved through the board. And so that's what we're doing right now. The
So
process.
we didn't lose, money didn't disappear,
No, money didn't dis-
$33,000.
No, not
So
at
it's
all.
just a matter of
The board
the
approving that we,
procedures
yes,
that we.
yes, ma'am.
And I think initially it was just a glitch in their system, because this was a paper budget for a long time, and it's just recently moved into the online system with all of the other grant budgets. So I think, on their part, it was just a glitch in getting all of those things done the right way.
And we use EEF funds every other year to purchase technology that we need when we don't have it in the budget.
Yeah, because we didn't use any in the 15-16 school year.
And so from now on, it's online now then?
Yes.
Okay, so it won't be any more paper.
This was the
Won't
first
be
year,
any
it
more.
was online.
This was the first
Yeah.
year, and going forward, it's gonna be online.
Yes.
It's not most of our grants are reimbursements, they just
That's right,
allocate
yeah.
us a certain amount.
It's like we get the interest of it, but then the larger pot kind of sits and we have to request for approval if we want to pull those funds, because they're one-time funds. Once they're gone, they're gone.
Which is why we don't try to touch it.
I so move.
I second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other questions? Okay, vote, Ms. Green?
Ms. Bell?
Yes.
Ms. Cheney?
Yes.
Dr. Hurst?
Yes.
3-0, motion carried, refer to the full board.
Thank you.
Okay, next item is to consider for approval Capital City Produce 2017-18 school fund services, fresh fruit and vegetable vendor.
Good evening, Board. Ms. Towner is passing out some information. This is the bid that I had to rebid. I'm asking the Board to consider approval for Capital City Produce for the new vendor for fresh fruit and vegetables for the 2017-2018 school year.
I so move.
I second.
We have a motion by Ms.
Dr. Hurst.
Dr. Hurst and a second by Ms. Cheney to approve the vendor. No other questions, we'll take a vote, Ms. Reed.
Ms. Bell?
Yes.
Dr. Hurst?
Yes.
Ms. Cheney?
Yes.
3-0, motion carried, refer to the full board.
Okay, item 5 is to receive and approve 2016-17 year in budget revisions.
Good afternoon. This is our year-end, final budget revision. So this will kind of take the place of my dashboard. It'll be a little more in-depth. you turn to the first page, the general fund. If you look at the last column, the revision column, the total revenues are, we revised them to $9.3 million. The biggest increase came in our MFP. Last year, we got $8,048,000, and this year, we got $8,900,000. So it went up considerably. Our per pupil went up, our student count went up, and we had a mid-year adjustment from the prior year.
So this was strictly student increase?
Not totally, a lot of it, but like our per pupil amount went up, so
The
we
state
got more.
adjusted that? Okay.
And we also, we had more students, the per pupil went up, and then we got an adjustment for the kids that came in from October. The October count and the February count. So it went up considerably from our payment of last year. Also, if you go down to the expenditures, you notice the regular programs would be your first one that would come to. I revised down over $400,000, and this in part is due to positions. I fully, when I budget everything that they want to hire. They may or may not have hired all of it, but a portion is also due to the $100 day teachers, the non-certified teachers. So I budgeted full salary, and they didn't get full salary. So I think it was 15, something like that, plus their benefits and all that trickled down. So I won't say it was a savings. It saved us money, but
It's always budgeted.
it was budgeted. That was the biggest decrease in expenditure. Student transportation went up $114,000. That's mainly due in part to busing, where the elementary kids are on one bus, the high school is on another bus, and I think maybe additional route or two. Yeah, just-
Right, but we're trying to consolidate the route to, so it should go down.
Right, so overall, our total expenditures for the year, we reduced them by $280,000. So we projecting, there will be a few adjustments before I get completely closed out, but having an excess for the year of $1.3 million. Added to our prior year fund balance of 3.5 will give us about $4.8 million in fund balance. We recommend that we reserve a portion of this current year surplus and assign it for capital projects for the next fiscal year, and that will take board action. So, we don't have a quorum tonight, but I do recommend that you do that.
And
How
those
much do
monies.
you want to reserve?
Right, so we're looking at the total cost to build the band facility. Remember, we talked about it a few months ago about looking at the cost of a new band room, because we've outgrown the building that the band is currently in. And so we now have the funds to outright build a facility and not have to finance the thing. So that'd be a good thing. We also, what was included in that too was the, repair and replacing of all of the plumbing and all of the, the infrastructure work at the schools. We don't have to use those funds to do that. We found monies within the budget to do that. So, we're in a really good spot financially to be able to build a facility, and not have to worry about financing. We can build it outright. We also were looking at getting some more technology, because as you know, the State Department has required that all of our students 5th through 8th grade take their tests online. And so, we also received a grant from the Wilson Foundation, and, trying to seek other avenues to, get that type of equipment that we need. But of course, it's not nearly enough. So we could use those funds to also purchase the necessary technology. We're also looking at, and we spoke to Amy just today, spoke about some other things that we can do, including giving one-time bonus to all of the teachers who had an increase in their test results this past testing cycle, and also some other things. So, but the big the big issue right now is that band facility and the technology and wanting to move forward with that.
You also mentioned playground equipment.
Yes, new playground equipment for the A&T, because I think that playground equipment for sure has been there as long as I've been here, and I know it's been there longer than that. So we absolutely need new playground equipment at the A&T. We do have, the new equipment has been installed at the Early Learning Center, and so we need to do the same for our kids at the A&T.
Do the A&T have funds to match for their playground equipment?
They probably don't.
They probably
They
don't.
probably don't, but.
So tell them they need to get to work. Get to work to match some funds, and then we'll come with some. Get Mr. McPherson.
We actually were able. I'll get Mr. Pearson to work. He'll be happy to. So we'll be able to do all of that and still have monies left over, so we're in a good spot.
So you just reserved a portion, like a percentage of that 4 million, what percentage?
I think we know about how much the band will cost, but I think Dr. Joseph was gonna work on some figures, and when we have the full board, we will get the.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you some figures on what it would cost.
Are we talking about building a new building or adding on to the existing building?
A brand new building.
I remember when we talked about roof leaks, all that taken care of?
Did we cover roof leaks? I know we looked at I got some information on the gutters, what roof leaks do we have?
I know there's one at the high school on New Park.
Yeah, in the gym, let me look at that, and maybe you could also include all of that. But the monies that we're looking at will go into, construction and, facilities, so, any monies that we have will go toward all of that.
We'll get the proper wording and all, so we can do
Right.
assign it and do it.
Are we gonna need funds for that USDA, when they start that facility? We're not gonna have to match any portion of that? We're not gonna
So
need
we have all,
anything?
that's already,
That's all covered?
Yeah.
And separate?
This is separate.
Mr. Coleman?
Is now time for a question?
No.
It's not time for a question.
Is anything included in that for possible renovation of the Early Learning Center gym, or?
We renovated the Early Learning Center gym.
Excuse me?
Yes, renovated.
I try to stay away from the school, I get accused of stuff, so I stay away.
Okay.
We use funds, monies that's in the current budget to do those kind of things. That's already been done. But this will allow us, I think, we really do need a new band facility for our band. I mean, we need to look at doing some really good stuff, some work for our kids. And also any other things that come up that we need to fix. We are in a position where we can do it, so that's a really good thing.
Okay, if you turn to the yellow tab, these are our special revenues. I won't go over every one of them, but, I would, if you look, we did get the Wilson Foundation, it's almost at the bottom, was $40,000. We got $30,000 from United Way for the flood relief victims. Those are some of the newer ones, but, these are just, the majority of these are reimbursement grants, Title I, Special Ed, Carl Perkins and those type things, so we have to revise to what was actually spent. But for the year, we had grants of almost $5 million, state and federal, and a few local. In the pink tab are the capital projects. I'm sorry, the blue tab. The first one is the Fund 13. This is our maintenance tax where our custodians are paid and we do all our maintenance out of this fund. So basically, we brought in about $730,000 in revenue and our expenditures were over $1 million. And the difference in that was around $300,000 was used to renovate the central office. And a few things I think at the high school were also included in there. So that made us go over for the year in that, but we still have an ending fund balance of over $400,000 in that fund. And the pink tab would be, the insurance capital project fund, and we have a balance in there of $563,000. That's it. Any questions?
So did, most of our funds end in a positive, we didn't have any losses?
The only one that would have been that Fund 13, our maintenance fund, and that was, we knew when that was approved at the end of the last fiscal year that would go into this fiscal year, so, it was a one-time thing.
Okay, but overall, the budget's looking good, but,
Yeah.
from this revision, this revised. Okay.
So I just, we need to accept it and send to the full board when we
Okay.
get going.
I need a motion.
I move.
A motion by Dr. Hurst, second by Ms. Cheney. Question? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Good afternoon. I'm Major Coleman, St.Helena Parish Police Jury, District Number 5. And I heard you all speaking of the band. I wanted to know, on the instruments, do the schools supply those instruments or the kids having to buy them? I hear you saying you're trying to get 100 camp, and now you're talking about building a building. So do the schools supply the instruments or do the students have to purchase them?
We supply. We
Some
actually
of-
just bought a big bulk of instruments for our students at the A&T. So, yeah, we supply those instruments.
Okay. Second question is the bleachers for the band. Seemed like one time we talked about doing something like that, where the band would have their own bleachers during the home games, because it actually takes up a lot of space for.
They do. Yeah, that'll be something that we'll also consider as we work, to get a firmer grip on what we need to do with the additional funds that we have, because it would be a one-time expense.
I just wanted to bring it back to you.
Oh, yeah, that's always in the works.
We supply instruments for every student?
Not every student, but I know this last bulk, all those kids that did play at that summer concert that we did, those were all purchased by the school system.
So how we determine, say we have an influx of kids, sure, what we going on, what's the process of determining who gets instruments, who don't, or do we get all the other kids instruments, what's the process?
That would be up to the band director and determining how all of that works and what equipment is needed. I do know that he makes sure that all of the equipment is updated, and all that kind of stuff. But as far as like a clear process on who gets equipment or not, that would be determined by the band director.
And the band students have been working this summer. So
They
had-
fundraise, they do things. I think that the kids who are able to, have equipment or any kind of instrument, they would bring it. But for the most part, I know that we provide the equipment to the kids. And we also purchase the uniforms. And the band does have a budget, a yearly budget of $25,000. And then the A&T has $5,000. So whatever monies they use to, go on trips, purchase equipment, fix equipment, whatever it is that they need, they use those funds every year to do it.
I know they work real hard, and I just want to make sure they still get some help too. They work hard.
They get a lot of help. I'm
They
a
hustle.
strong supporter of the band and all extracurricular activities, so we make sure that we provide those necessary things for them.
But while we're on the subject, can I ask a question? What about our cheerleaders? Do they get a budget every year?
The cheerleaders don't get a budget every year, no, they don't. But when the sponsor comes in and asks for particular things, we do our best to provide whatever it is that they need. I think the last conversation we had was about, and it was a while ago now, I think we talked about uniforms, and I told that we would provide them with that assistance. So whatever it is that they need, we try to do our best to, give our kids what they need. We're also looking at providing them with transportation after school. Because a lot of our kids more kids would participate if they had transportation to and from school and home. So we're looking at, right now, looking at the costs associated with that, and at least for the fall semester, because that's where the bulk of the, activities are done. Provide that for our football team, volleyball team, cheerleaders, band, all of those kids, and, kind of try to get them more involved in after-school events. So, we do look at all of the needs, but of course, we go by what the athletic director needs, what the band director says, that he needs. We do that before we just jump in and overstep. So
Yeah,
we're always working, trying to give all our kids what they need.
Yeah, and I believe we do.
Mhm.
It's just that when I saw him at the cheerleader event last week,
Mhm.
they wanted to stay, but they said they couldn't afford it. And all the other cheerleaders stayed and ate on campus, and they had to find food every day. So
Really?
yes,
See, I wasn't aware of that.
yeah.
And I didn't know that they were going to camp. Yeah, that's a school level thing, but if, I'm sure if she would have come and said she needed assistance, we would have done what we could to provide that for her. Because I know that that's an awesome experience to go to a university, stay on campus and, experience all those camps. I mean, I did it when I was in high school. It's an awesome experience.
It actually cost them more to drive back and forth than it would have been to
To
stay.
stay,
Who's the director? Who's over it? They didn't know?
Miss Woman, Joyce Woman.
Oh, okay. Maybe somebody needs to let her know that she needs something,
Yeah,
that
she-
she needs to let the school know.
Okay, we haven't had our full vote yet. Ms. Bell?
Yes.
Ms. Cheney?
Yes.
Dr. Hurst?
Yes.
3-0, motion carried, refer to the full board.
Okay, item 5A, Tops Landscaping Contract.
Yes, I just received the contract today, and I appreciate you all adding it to the agenda. As you know, we, with the renovations of the school board, we also renovated the exterior with the new landscaping. And the contract that was presented to me today was $2,000 for the entire year, and he will upkeep the grounds. How often? Yeah.
How you doing? What? Not that top, cold tops, what you want to talk? Yeah, for the facilities, for the year of the upkeep, I mean, like I said, I put it in, it's there, and if anything goes wrong or the plant die, I replace. And for the annual flower for the year, like winter flowers, summer flowers, that comes in with the price, with the mulch and everything for the front and the side.
So we're gonna replace the flowers that's out there, cause like right now I know we have, some where we're gonna change.
Yeah,
in the fall.
yeah, like the color.
Color.
Yeah, you know, every year you got summer flowers, you got winter flowers, so you
Right.
have the season, and if any flowers that I planted die, I mean, if free replacement, it's in the contract. That if it die, I replace it. It's just, and it's an upkeep that it will never look bad. I come through once a week or once every 2 weeks, and just to keep it up.
So in the fall we'll see color, in the
Yeah,
spring
spring
we'll
we
see.
see color.
Okay, cause I like color.
Yeah, it's spring, and anything I can add to make it look good, I add to it. Maybe the same price, because I like different looks, and I'll talk to the superintendent and see what she like, different looks and what color she want. Or you might be a Southern Jag fan, might be Bayou Classic. I put the colors in there.
Blue and gold out there. I like that
One
color
side
better.
blue, other side gold. I mean, whatever.
I don't know about that. What are they, tigers?
Yeah.
I don't know about those
So, I
ones.
mean,
Chance is what we are.
Right.
Yeah, and
I don't know
at
why you have to-
at the early learning center, the principal at the early learning, Miss Jackson, I'm doing flower beds Friday. Where there's two, like she walk with the spillway. She got 2 empty beds. She want me to fix that up, and I think he got a drainage problem that me and the janitors, because like I said, it's a big deal. Because I think I done that drainage about 15 years ago. I think when Mr. The other guy was the superintendent. But the guy. Well, anyway, I put the drainage down, and it's been 15 years, and so it's clogged. And see, that's why the water is coming on the concrete when it rains a lot. it comes down, but if you don't stop that drainage I put down, because I put it down like, I think it's about 3-4 foot.
You said that,
In
you
the
talking
ground.
about the gutter system?
Yeah, the gutter system all the way down the spillway to the what, because I think it's a drainage up under that concrete that I had a pipe going to. So now it been so long and it been clogged up, so it need to be unclogged. So I think you got to take that whole system up. I'm gonna show the janitors, how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because if they want me to do it, it be costing a lot. But I'm gonna show them and show them what to do to get it unstopped. Because they said some of the water go in the gym, floor sometimes. So and I told her when you put the flower beds in, at least put the flower beds in and don't fix the drainage, because all the moss gonna be on the concrete. So you gonna have to fix that problem before you do the landscaping. So I'm gonna show them how to fix the problem, and then I'll do that.
Oh, that's good, we appreciate that. Sure they do too.
That's right.
Thank you, Mr. Cobb.
You right.
So I'm asking that you all approve the contract for $2,000 annually to maintain the flower beds out in front of the building.
Okay. Motion.
Is that a lot or?
Well, this is just for the central office.
Do we get any other bids, or just,
It's just, it's so low, and I don't need to. That's for the year.
I don't think you have to bid on this one.
No.
Let's just,
Anything over.
let's do
Yeah.
it.
No, not to bid. What's the threshold to bid? It's not 1,000. Yeah, it's like 10,000. Yeah, it's not.
Anything over 3.
Yeah, this isn't anything.
This is professional.
Honest bid.
Professional fees, you don't have to bid
It's
on
over
it.
10,000. If it's over 10,000, you do anything under you don't.
Yeah, anything under 10,000 to bid it out.
And you don't have to bid on professional.
I'm gonna make a suggestion that we do it for 6 months for half the price, see how it go, and then if everything is changed out and everything kept up, then we can move forward.
Okay, so that's gonna take
Yeah, and
a contract.
And I've done it twice for free.
Yeah, you
I mean, I came out there, and it rained,
Come up to the
landscape.
podium. Come up to the podium.
Yeah, and since I put it down, and I kept it up for about, about, I think it was 6 months. I came every 3 months to make sure everything looked good, and I bought more mulching because I done it 'cause I wanted it to look good because showboat because I got jobs off of it too. To the truth, and I like to keep it up. And like I said, I work here. I like to keep it up, and it's no school, and that's the best price I can give to that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm at home. And, I don't have to go too far. I can get all my equipment at home. I don't have to, so.
And when anything went, that I felt was not up to par, I called him. Coach, you need to come on up here, you need to, get it squared away, and he did. And I got pulled up today, and he knows he needs to get it done. So I'm gonna ask that you all, give it the full year, so I don't have to worry about coming back at, for 6 months. I mean, it's a really, that's my personal opinion, I think that it's a really decent price, and, I think it's worth it. And like he did say, he did come out twice and did it at no charge, and there are a couple other things that he did too at no charge that I feel like he's worth that thing.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Cheney.
I second.
We have a second by Dr. Harris. Ms. Green.
I don't know, I know at the government that we can't contract with the employee. I don't know if he's an employee of yours. Maybe you don't want to do a contract with him. 'Cause
He works for the school.
He's not for it.
I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm just bringing it up. If, I don't know. I know we can't do it at the police jury. If somebody works for us, we can't contract with them. So,
Is he full-time before?
maybe you can do it without a contract. But I don't think you can do it with a contract.
We
Just check it, I mean, I'm just bringing it
What's
up.
that thing on that
I want it to be straight when y'all do it.
Point what, I actually thought about that earlier, but it slipped my mind. But I guess we have to,
That's in policy.
Yeah, we're gonna take that.
We'll table it and we'll come back to it.
We can figure it out. You can agree to pay that amount per year, then you just invoices it out.
Right, you can hire him
You
for
don't
additional
have to
work.
You can just agree to,
Just agree to do it.
you can agree to, like, budget $2,000 a year for
You
that.
give it to him, you paying him anyway, so if you
Right.
do it in a contract form, I think they'll do it.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
if he's a full-time employee, that's,
You can just do it that way.
Okay, we'll do it that way. So can you approve to?
Right.
Okay, so I move to rescind my motion.
well.
I know that word RESCIND, rescind my motion that we give Mr. Lionel Tops the contract and that we just pay him the additional funds to put it in the budget to maintain the flower bed system here.
Pay him additional.
Do I need to repeat that, Ms. Leah? You got it, thank you.
Okay, we have a
second.
motion by Ms. Cheney to rescind her first motion and to make a second motion that Mr. Thomas be paid in the form of his contract.
I second.
Okay, and Dr. Hurst, second by Dr. Hurst.
Ms. Bell,
Yes.
Ms. Cheney,
Yes.
Dr. Hurst.
Yes.
3-0, motion carried.
Okay, that concludes the budget and finance. Ms. Cheney.
Building and Ground Committee will come to order. Roll call,
Ms. Linda Cheney,
present.
Ms. Joyce Ford is absent, Ms. Barbara Whitley is absent, Dr. Kelly Joseph,
Here.
myself.
Due to the fact that I have two members absent, I would like to ask Dr. Hurst to serve and Ms. Bell to serve on the Building and Ground Committees. First item on the agenda, consideration of approval of fees to be assessed to the St. Helena Little League by St. Helena Parish School Board for use of football field at St. Helena Early Learning Center and gym at St. Helena College and Career Academy.
I make a motion that we charge the Little League $1 per week for the term of their allotment to use the facilities, which is, I think they got it for a year, from August to August, or what was the paperwork?
Do we have a track of that?
We already approved them to use it.
I thought it was 6 months from, well, I don't know. I don't know how long it was
That
for.
wasn't a month, though.
Yeah,
We approved them using it in connection with the other group, right? The other group was,
yeah, but when we talked about it, we had to assess a fee because it was.
yeah, we have to.
Yeah,
We're not gonna do it jointly? I thought we were gonna do it jointly.
this is joint, isn't it?
It says St. Helena.
The football
Early-
field in the gym?
He was going to go into executive session to discuss that. He may want to defer.
Okay.
He was, he
Yeah,
had
'cause-
an executive session on the regular meeting to discuss that item again. So you may want to defer it again since we don't have a quorum here. We may not have a quorum.
And that wasn't, and I don't think that was.
So can I get an item to defer that motion, table that motion
Okay,
to?
I make a motion to table this item, item 3.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Motion by Ms. Bell, second by Dr. Hurst, that we consider, table item 3, which is consideration and approval for fees to be assessed to St. Helena Little League by St. Helena Parish School Board for use of football field at St. Helena Early Learning Center and the gym at St. Helena College and Career Academy.
Do you want this to go back to committee or just bring it on the full board since you're probably not going to be able to address it in committee anyway?
I think we still need to discuss it in committee
Committee,
because
okay.
we need to sort of get an amount and then bring it to the full board.
Okay, so you want to defer to August 10th?
Right.
But
Unless we have a special meeting. Okay. All right, so let's, so to the August 10th date.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? All right. Item 4, we're gonna bring it to the committee first, and then bring it to the full board. So we're gonna have a regular, we're gonna have our committee meeting on the 10th, and then we'll bring it back to the full board for discussion. Okay? All right, item.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Say one thing, please. Question.
Come to the podium.
Ma'am,
I said come to the podium.
I want to address everybody. We had a good turnout at the gym with the little kids and everything. And I think a lot of people in here, children was out there, and they was having a great time. We had a great turnout. We had a good practice last weekend. We won't be there this weekend because they're supposed to have a school supply. And that's why we're gonna miss it this week, coming Saturday, but we'll be there back in next Saturday. We have some great athletes. And I'm gonna repeat, I am a recruiter in this parish. I always have been a recruiter in this parish. Always have, football and basketball. I try to get a couple of kids a scholarship this year at Southern University because me and the head coaches, Coach Banks is just like this, but he's not the head coach now. He's the athletic director. And I try to get some girls over there, myself and Sandra Pugh. Not only that, Coach Stocking at Tulane, Texas State University. I am a recruiter in here. When Miss Emika's daughter was playing, I tried to get Jackie at Southeastern full scholarship, but she said that I'm tired of basketball. So I'm keeping my good network on, and I'm not gonna call no name, but I saw some great ball players out there. That's it.
Okay, thank you, sir, Mr. Anderson. All right, item 4, receive and consider for approval corporate endeavor agreement between St. Helena Parish Police Jury and St. Helena Parish School Board to fix the parking facility at St. Helena College and Career Academy football stadium.
I'm gonna ask Mr. Coleman to come up and explain to you what it is that we are working to do. Come on up, Major Coleman.
Remember what's in that endeavor? Oh, what we has done is, you all were kind enough to let us use the facility for what we call a pod. That's a point of distribution. In case we have some kind of sickness or some kind of disease that's going around, we use your facility to get people in, get them medicine, and get them out the way you all set up. So you all have let us done that. So we tried to do a demonstration. We had to do a demonstration with the health department one day, and it had rained. It was really muddy, and we could not do it. So at that time, I thought about it would be a good endeavor if the police jury and the school board would come together and gravel that parking lot. So you will get to use it during your events, and then when we need it for a pod, it has gravel there. We can use it and also do our demonstration, because every year we have to demonstrate to them that we could actually pull this off, actually do a full sledge distribution. So whatever that cost is, I think we kind of estimated it. I think it was like less than 10,000 maybe
For the gravel,
to do it. Yeah.
spread it out. What about parking bumpers, dividers, concrete?
We didn't have that. Actually, it was brought up just to do the area that we needed for the pond. So I said, no, we'll do the whole thing. So we didn't talk about the little parking.
So we'll split that cost, or police jury will cover
What?
10,000.
It's a split. You have to read the endeavor.
I don't have the endeavor, so I
You-
can't
you-
read it. I'm
oh,
asking
really?
you.
Yeah.
So they didn't receive the letter from Mr. You have it? Okay. So I'm asking that
Finally,
you all.
yes.
Finally what?
Well, of course.
Oh, okay.
So
Thank you.
Okay,
I move that we approve the
So what-
CEA between St. Helena Police Jury and the school district.
That's what I'm talking about.
What's the estimate? What was the estimate in that letter? Can you see it right there?
I can pull it back up.
I think,
I certainly can.
I can't remember exactly.
Put it back
That's
up.
just, yes, so,
As long as it's being split, I mean,
yeah.
I like that idea.
Are you gonna use the regular rocks or some type of, what you call them, the gray limestone rocks they put on parking lots?
Ooh-wee.
No, that stuff is expensive.
I asked, I wanna know the price. Well,
What would be the difference in price if you had to guesstimate, Mr. Coleman?
it'll be double that.
Double?
They're going to use their equipment to haul the rocks over, spread it out, do everything, so we don't have to do anything except pay, half the cost.
What about, dragging them when they start to get compacted?
They're gonna take care of this. 'cause they got-
What do you mean, like grade it?
Graded.
Well, once we get them down, then you start talking to your police jury in District Number 2.
Can you come to the podium?
I get it. I get it. Don't worry about it. I understand it can't be done.
Okay.
Ms. Bailey, you made the motion?
I did, I made the motion.
I second.
And Mr. Second.
Ms. Cheney?
Yes.
Ms. Bell?
Yes.
Dr. Hurst?
Yes.
Motion carried, refer to the full board.
Item 5, discuss and consider for approval removal of the 10 classroom portable building at Child Campus.
As you know, we did receive a bid to have the trailer removed, but the individual who won the bid has come back and said that he can no longer have the trailer removed. So we need to do something with that building. I'm open to suggestions. One of the thoughts that I did have is that we, open it up again for someone to come and get it for scraps or whatever, just to make some type of money off of the building.
The scrap is down right now. I can tell you that. He ain't gonna make no money that way. So, can we put it back up?
Put it back out to bid?
Yeah.
It's just a hazard. We need to
We get it off, cause it's
Honestly, if I may interject here, honestly, the problem with, and I talked to a mover, about this, he called, and he said, really, the problem is with the building being that many, having separated, and the condition of it, that if somebody bought it, it's not gonna be usable. Cause they're not gonna be able to move it and set it back up right, because it's damaged to bad. And it's just not gonna be worth it. And as far as the scrap, Mr. Self did contact some people and they said, well, we'll come get it, we'll, come scrap it. But because of the cost, it's gonna cost them to move it, whatever they get, we wouldn't get anything out of it. They would probably just get their expenses back.
if they bring us the receipt and show us, make sure they ain't getting too much.
Okay.
So you wanna include that in the bid, maybe?
Bring the right receipt.
Oh, they set your stuff off and with them.
I'm not the chair, huh? Chain is the chair.
What you gonna do? What you gonna get out of it?
We did receive a settlement.
You did? Okay. Oh, let them come in.
How much?
Bye.
15,000.
Bye.
Let it go.
Okay.
So do you want to redo the bid to include that?
Let's,
Well, it's already declared surplus and no longer usable, so I guess we will
What
just
happened, you
find
received a
somebody.
lesser bid? You received.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
do we
If-
have a
The
lesser
second, the
bid?
second
Just
highest?
give it to that
Did
person.
we
Second
receive
highest
a-
bid.
that's what
But
I'm.
we only
Everybody else
received
bid.
one.
You only receive one.
We only received one. If we put it out, advertised it for 3 consecutive weeks, and we only received one bid. And I'm not sure who Mr. Selvick, he said he contacted several people today when we mentioned that to him. And the thing was that they said they would come get it, but we probably would not make any money off of it by the time they finish with their expenses to tear it down, clean up. They even said they would clean up around, when they move it.
All right,
they
so
would
we'll
dig
put it
up.
out,
You
we'll
put it
put out
out
again the
again,
bid with
again.
that language in it. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
So can I get a motion to that effect?
I motion to rebid the contract.
I second.
Motion by Ms. Bales, to rebid the contract for the 10 classroom portable building Ed Charter, second by Dr. Hurst. Questions?
Is this just for removal, just to remove it? Not, you're not trying to sell it, you just,
Is to sell or remove.
To sell or
whatever, yeah.
Vote.
Ms. Bell?
Yes.
Ms. Cheney?
Yes.
Dr. Hurst?
Yes.
3-0, motion carried, refer to the full board.
Item 6, receive and consider request to declare storage shed located at St.Helena Early Learning Center surplus and advertise for bids.
There is a small storage shed that's next to the new playground equipment that Ms. Jackson would like to have removed. And so I'm requesting that you declare that item as surplus so we can get that small storage space out of the way.
I motion that we declare it surplus.
I second.
Motion by Ms. Bell, second by Dr. Hurst, that we declare that building at Early Learning Center as surplus. Any questions? No questions? Vote.
Ms. Bell?
Yes.
Ms. Cheney?
Yes.
Dr. Hurst?
Yes.
3-0, motion carried, refer to the full board.
That concludes the Building and Ground Committee. Okay, due to the fact that we do not have a quorum, we will not be holding our regular board meeting this afternoon. And we will resume on August the 10th at the central office with our committee meeting starting at 5:45 and our regular board meeting thereafter. Thank you so much.
Okay, I have one announcement. The Homeland Security, St. Helena Parish Director of Homeland Security is holding, what is it, a storm awareness event tomorrow at the Fifth Ward Recreation Center. So are they gonna, she's gonna be giving out supplies, is she, or giving information, maps or whatever?
It's just to inform the people on how things operate when we're in the disaster mode, and Entity will be there giving you information to, like when your power is out, you know, what and how things work. And I think it'll be, and we've been going over the parish doing this from different districts, and this is in my district this time. I think it'll be beneficial for us as a whole if everybody, well, not everybody, if more people knew the process of how things work when we're in disaster mode. So we'll have the Governor's Office of Homeland Security be there, Red Cross will be there, Department of Health will be there, Entity will be there. And if you have questions about how things operate, you can get an answer at that time.
And if questions about tarps and what happens with tarps when there's a storm, there's always a lot of questions about that, how people get tarps for the house. So she'll be able to answer all those questions, anything related to storm events, tomorrow at the center for 6 o'clock.
Start at 6.
Start at 6.
And they also, I forgot what the organization was called, maybe we discussed this last meeting, at Amite High and several other areas in the Tri-Parish area, they're giving free medical services. They pulling teeth, doing all kind of stuff at Amite High School, everything free of charge. So if you know anybody who don't have insurance or needs to see a doctor or a dentist, counselor, everything is free of charge. They were pulling teeth today and everything.
When is this? When is this?
The last day is Saturday, so it's every day until
Military,
Saturday.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's something to do with the Red Cross and military and the National Guard. But everything is free. I can go in there right now, even though I have insurance, and get a tooth pulled if I wanted to. It's free.
It's not included, so
Cotton ball everywhere.